David, you are credited with coming up with the concept of squeezing the lemon, which is one of the most talked about aspects of the Business Growth Program. Can you just tell us what that's about?
It stems originally from the research that we've conducted over the years that shows that 9 out of 10 successful high-growth businesses achieve that growth through selling more of what they currently do to their existing customers and finding other customers who are like them. So in a word, they focus on that box of developing their business. We know this from research, and we know this from individual anecdotes from hundreds of people who've worked with us over the years. About 5 or 6 years ago, I was asked by one of the people on BGP to explore ways in which he could increase the sales in his company. And he was convinced that he wasn't getting enough new business in. We sat down, we worked through the problem, and after about an hour, we concluded that if he was getting all of the potential business that he could be getting from his existing customers, he wouldn't have the capacity to service it. And I said to him, it's a little bit like squeezing a lemon when you're cooking. I said, what we typically do when you cook is you take a lemon, you cut it in half. You take one half and you squeeze just enough juice for the present purpose, and then you discard that lemon. Mm-hmm. You take the other half of the lemon, and certainly in my household, you wrap it in cling film and you put it in the fridge. 2 weeks later, you open the fridge, and there at the back of the fridge is this little moldy green thing that you've forgotten about. Mm-hmm. And in my view, that's what a lot of us do with our customers a lot of the time. We take from them the sales value that we need for the present purpose, we wrap them in cling film, we put them in cold storage, and when we take it out again, we find they've gone moldy on us. So that's what squeezing the lemon is all about, is looking for ways to extract more value from people that you're doing business with.
Okay, that sounds too simple to be true. Why aren't entrepreneurs just doing that as a matter of course?
I think two things get in the way, really. One is that entrepreneurs love to chase after new opportunities. The other thing that gets in the way is very often the task that the sales force are assigned with. The sales force are asked to go chase after new customers and find new business opportunities rather than looking at selling more to their existing customer base.
Okay, so this is about lifetime value.
It is about the lifetime value that you can get from your customers. And it's really important that ambitious businesses understand what that potential lifetime value can be. So they see the value of the customer relationship, not just in terms of sales next week and next month, but sales next year and the year after and the year after that.
So if you haven't thought of this concept before, if you're an entrepreneur that hasn't thought about squeezing the lemon, where do you start? What do you do?
It's all about upselling and cross-selling. Right? So it's about getting customers to understand exactly what it is you can do for them. I think a lot of people have a problem in that they start a business in year 0, they get to year 5, and the customers that they've had over that period are used to buying a certain range of products and services from them. And you as the supplier are used to selling that range of products and services to them. So the two parties get locked into a pattern. This is what I sell, this is what I buy. So you have to find ways to break through that pattern to tell the customer about the range of products and services that you now do, which maybe they simply don't understand or they don't have the impression that you do. And the customer has to be unlocked, if you like, so the customer tells you about the range of activities which they're engaged in and the new opportunities that might create for you to sell new stuff to them.
Okay, so on the Business Growth Program, can you just tell us some real live examples, people that have really done that?
I've got a great one for you that comes to mind right away. A business that was selling water purification systems that was on the program about 4 years ago. And they sold capital equipment to people, and they would sell units of £20,000, £50,000, maybe £100,000. And the way in which they'd sold it historically was as a piece of capital equipment which sat on the customer's balance sheet. Okay. Now, when they were on BGP, they got into conversation with a specialist leased equipment financing company. And out of that, they realized that there was an opportunity to repackage that offer and sell it to customers who didn't want to buy a piece of capital equipment sitting on the balance sheet, but actually wanted to finance it through the profit and loss account. That opened up a huge new pool of opportunities for customers who wanted the equipment but wanted to buy it in a different kind of way. So that to me is a classic example of thinking about, okay, how can I sell this stuff in a new way to the same kind of customers who really want to buy it?
What are the golden rules of successful lemon squeezing?
Understand who your ideal customer is and focus relentlessly on servicing that customer. You need to look at all the opportunities to do this, the cross-selling and the upselling. Sometimes you have to actively give the customer permission to buy from you. So that pattern I've described, where you get locked into, I sell this, you buy that, you have to find ways to disrupt that pattern and have a new conversation. You really have to develop a deep understanding of who your customer is, what they want, and where are they going. And to understand the where are they going piece, you need to develop a deep understanding of the market in which you're selling. So if you have that deep understanding, you can create new opportunities for your customer because you understand where the marketplace is going. And the final piece actually is about doing less. So you're doing more in terms of focus on your ideal customer, but you're doing less in terms of selling to people who are not that ideal customer, who are probably not as profitable, who will not stay with you for the long haul. And so you have to take some tough decisions about dropping your less profitable, less core customer.